I'm sure you've already heard before that comfort and entertainment actually kills your purpose. Now, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is, and I recommend you stay until the end because what I'm going to be exposing is something you can actually take action on. Actually take action on. Something that you can actually do something with. Not just something, not just some random opinion or some random thought or some random rant that somebody would do online, but instead something you can actually take action upon and improve your own life thanks to. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So what do I mean when I say comfort and entertainment or actually killing your purpose? I was in a kind of like just like finding ideas yesterday as to what I could be doing, and like kind of scrolling through a few different things that I not like that I don't actually usually go to. Like for instance, I was scrolling on Reddit. I've never actually done this in my entire life. So I was like, you know what? What's how does it look like? What does that do? So I went through Reddit and I saw this guy. He said, I'm a guy 26. I've got a job. I go work out. I like playing golf and I like spending my time alone, and I feel depressed. I don't know what to do. I don't know if this is normal. I don't know if I should be doing anything better. I should doing anything more than what I'm doing. I don't know what to do. What do you guys think I should do? And that kind of just like made me realize that there are people probably today living the same life. So they feel like shit. They feel depressed or whatever it may be, and they're living their day-to-day life. They have their job. They might go to school. They might learn a few things. They might improve their like a few things in their life. Like for instance, they might go to the gym. They might take care of their health. They might take care of a lot of things, but they don't really know what to do because they don't have like an overarching purpose, right? And this is a problem, right? Because like there's a lot of people today that feel and that felt before completely purposeless. They don't have a purpose. They don't know what to do. They don't have any dreams, any aspirations. They don't know. And this is like, I keep telling people, this is like a skill that you can develop. Everything is a skill that you can actually develop when you actually think about it. So in this case, why wouldn't you become good at setting goals, finding your purpose, discovering your dreams, pursuing them, and having this purpose of yours? Now, it might be something as simple as creating a family, having somebody like a loving partner, having a couple kids, having a house, dog, whatever it may be, like some kind of lifestyle, or it might be like a specific like I don't know, object that you would like to obtain. Maybe like it's a certain bank balance, maybe it's a certain physique, maybe it's a certain lifestyle, maybe it's a certain status. It might be like literally anything. It's going to be different for every single person. So I was reading through this guy's message and I was like, you know what? This actually makes a lot of sense. Because like there's been this common trend recently where more and more people have been going to the gym, taking care of their health, eating less shit, food, and they've been focusing more on becoming a better version of themselves in like most realms. Even though it's not like taking it to the extreme, it's always better than average, is what I'm saying. And so I see this with literally everybody. But at the end of the day, it feels like nobody really has figured out their purpose. And when you actually think about this, this is a lifelong endeavor. It's not something you figure out in a day, like in a couple hours. It's something that you kind of think about for a couple hours. You might like sit down in a room with like a piece of paper, no distractions, no music, no whatever, no computer, just a piece of paper, a pen, and just write down everything that you want to get, everything that you want to achieve. And it might start with that, and then it might grow in the future. As like the years go by, you're like, oh, actually, I would love to have this, or oh, actually, I wanted this before, but now I want this kind of lifestyle instead. Or oh, like for instance, for me, when I was listening to a lot of content from a lot of different people in the self-improvement community, I was always like, yeah, I need to have like I need to look extremely physically attractive. I need to have a six-pack. I need to have millions of dollars in my bank account. I need to have a bunch of girlfriends. I need to have this legacy for myself. And actually, when I started thinking about it, I was like, you know what? I don't know if that's actually what I want. Because like it seemed like something that I was interested in, because at the time I didn't really have any other like role models, and those people that had such a status driven lifestyle were the most like things that were most appealing to me. So at the time, maybe like 3 years ago, I'd say, I was just going through a bunch of people's content and be like, hey, this is awesome, I would love to have this, or I would love to live like that, or I would love, and then as I went through developing myself and working hard on my business and like going to the gym every single day, creating the character that I wanted to become, slowly I started realizing that I actually don't actually want to be and have that lifestyle 100%. Because I don't want to be somebody else's copycat. I don't want to be just like I don't want to just live the lifestyle that somebody else is living right now. I want to have my own lifestyle. I want to be able to do my own things. I want to be able to do something more like original and unique, if you know what I mean. Like I don't want to just see somebody, like it's good to take inspiration from these people online, but you need to keep in mind that they are showing the best version of themselves, and they're not going to show the shit version of themselves. Like they're not going to show what they're going to do on a Sunday morning, on a random day, when they feel like shit. They're not going to show that, right? So when you actually think about it, those are the kinds of things that can inspire you to find your own purpose and your own dream. But if you never take action towards it, if you never make any plans, if you never make sure that, oh, I need to be doing these sorts of actions in order to get to that point. If you never do that, if you never think about it, you'll always do what's something that's closest to you, something that gives you the most amount of dopamine. You won't even think about it. You'll just be like, oh yeah, I kind of feel like watching a movie right now, or oh, I kind of feel like playing a game right now, or oh, I kind of feel like doing this, this, and this. And there's this feeling, right? Now, the whole point of being human is that yes, we have emotions, yes, we have feelings, but we can decide whether or not we take action upon those feelings and those emotions. Emotions and feelings are information to be read like by our brain, and we need to interpret them as signals that something is happening and we need to do something about it. But if we have the mental fortitude, we can always decide to go against it. Like for example, a very simple example would be, if you feel hungry right now, but you're fat, well, maybe you shouldn't eat. Or maybe you should eat like really like a small amount of food, right? So that way you can lose weight and look better. Another thing would be, if you feel extremely thirsty, but the only water at your immediate disposal is like sewage water, I recommend don't drink that. Like it's probably gonna make it worse. You might catch a disease, who knows? You know what I mean? So even if you feel these things, it doesn't mean that you should act upon impulse and just do immediately. Every single time I feel something, I make sure that I look at everything at my immediate vicinity, I look at my schedule, I look at how much time that's gonna take, and I allocate that energy, that time, those like resources in order to do what I want to do. And like for instance, like even for me, like I used to be a very big advocate of don't ever fucking play video games, like it's fucking shit, it's a waste of time, what the fuck are you doing, blah blah blah. And then maybe like once a month or like once a week I would maybe like play like one video game in like 30 minutes to 20 minutes, like something like that. And like maybe like chess or like, I don't know, some strategy game or whatever that I used to play before. And then I was like, you know what, actually I need to stop talking about video games in such a bad way, because sure, if you completely and utterly focus on that and you let your life drift away towards video games, well, sure, you might not be able to create the kind of lifestyle you want. Your life is basically just going to be swept away beneath your feet, and you're not going to be able to focus on your purpose and your dream. So you need to be careful, not only of, because video games is a source of entertainment, so you need to be careful and wary of not only video games and entertainment like movies, TV shows, all these other things that are basically going to distract you from your purpose. And you also need to be wary that if you don't find your purpose, you're never going to be able to do what you want to do, and you're always going to feel like shit. You're always going to be depressed or angry or sad because your life is not as you want it to be. Every single time I talk with someone, I'm pretty sure one of you guys commented on one of my videos. I was talking about why people are depressed, and this is the exact same thing. People are depressed because they lack drive internally. They lack purpose. They don't have any dreams. They don't have any aspirations. They're just living their day-to-day life on a very mundane, basic way. And they're not really aspiring to do better or to create something for themselves. Or like, it might be something as simple as writing a book, creating this entire world, like for instance, like Tolkien, who created Lord of the Rings. It might be something like that, like a lifelong project. It might be like, I don't know, becoming a painter, painting the like Van Gogh or like Picasso or all those great, renowned, famous painters. Something that basically someone would dedicate their life to in order to please their own desires. That's what a purpose or dream is. It might be something, like I said, very simple. It might be something like writing a book. It might be something like creating a family or a certain lifestyle that you want. Maybe it's like you've got a few dream cars that you would like to obtain. Maybe you've got maybe you really want a Bugatti or a Lamborghini. Maybe you want a certain bank balance. Maybe you want like 10 million, 5 million, like, I don't know, $100 million in your bank account, and you want to see that on your interface. I don't know. It could be literally anything, and that's something you have to figure out for yourself. Like personally for me, I've been on a quest to find out what I wanted to do ever since I got out of high school and I graduated and I went into this private university because I didn't know what to do, right? I didn't know what to do, so I just took the first thing that was kind of interesting and kind of like what I was talking about, video games. This is like a distraction, right? So I was distracted by these very interesting things in front of me. And so the main thing that was interesting, because my parents were telling me like, hey, you need to go get an education, you need to pursue your like a career in whatever, something you really want to do, but you need to study. Like you need to go after baccalaureate or whatever the fuck. You need to go in studying more. And so I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I'll do that because that's what you say. So I'll do that. Did that for like 3 years. And then I was like, you know what? This is actually not for me. Like, I don't want to do this. I was studying 3D graphics design, VFX stuff from like movies and video games, because that's the only thing like I was interested in at the time, right? So instead of doing that, I decided to do a full 180 and figure out what it is I actually wanted to be. And then at this point, I started rediscovering myself, going to the gym every single day, learning new skills, improving myself on a day-to-day basis, taking care better of my health, of my home, of my literally everything around me. And slowly but surely, I started understanding like who I actually wanted to be. So I started mapping out my purpose at the very beginning, all those kinds of things. And I got to the point where now today, I've started my own business. And I'm semi-successful, but not really. Like, I don't think I'm very successful, to be perfectly honest. I think I've got still a very long way to go as to become somebody more influential and more skilled and more capable that I can provide for others. I've got so many things on my agenda that I need to do. I've got a lot of tasks that I've planned. I've got so many different things that I want to create for myself and build. That is what drives me at the end of the day. And so what you need to be wary of is, first off, endless sources of entertainment. So you need to be careful about if you love watching movies and TV shows and sources of entertainment like YouTube videos or playing video games. You need to be very careful about how you use your time and how you invest it into those things, because it's something that's never going to disappear. It's always something that's going to be a part of human nature, like entertainment, and it's something you're going to have to fight or understand in order to not let it control your life. Second thing that you're going to have to be wary of is you need to understand yourself such on a deep level, like do some soul searching. Basically, I recommend this especially if you're a religious person. This probably makes a lot of sense. Do some soul searching to understand and figure out your purpose. Is it to something more selfish, or is it something related to God or like family or like something that you really want to focus on? It could be anything. You get to choose that. And if you think you should live your life in a certain way because of someone else, really take some time to really think, is that something that I actually should be doing or not? Because if somebody wants you to live for them, they need to have a good enough argument or a good enough compelling lifestyle that you're a part of that convinces you okay, this is the right thing for me. All right? So don't just do whatever anybody tells you to do. Just think about it for yourself and think critically. Is this the kind of even what I'm talking to you right now about? Is what I'm talking to you about? Is this random guy fucking Bazil here on YouTube giving me good solid advice, or is it something I really don't care about? Think for yourself and be like, if I want to look like this guy, if I want to have the kind of lifestyle that he has, wouldn't you want to be more? If you want to be more like me, then in that case, wouldn't you listen to me in what I have to say? Wouldn't that make sense? It's kind of like, if you want your life to be like Jeff Bezos, then wouldn't you listen to Jeff Bezos if you want your life to be like his? Wouldn't that make a lot of sense? So that's what I'm talking about. And so I might make a video one day, explaining a bit more of who I am and what I do exactly, and so that way you guys maybe create a sort of an intro to the channel, just to kind of briefly make you understand who I am as a person. But then I really investing on these long form videos that you guys, if you guys watch them every single day, that means a lot to me, because you'll really get to understand who I am and my psychology behind these videos and what message I want to push forward for you guys. So be careful about endless entertainment, video games, all that sort of stuff. It might be a distraction. It might not actually be your purpose. And find your purpose and understand it's a lifelong journey to figure out your purpose. It might not be something you figure out fully today, and that's perfectly okay. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. I record every single day, so if you have any video topic recommendations, feel free to put those in the comments. If you have any questions, if you want some advice or feedback on something specific, feel free to ask me as well. I'm happy to help or have a conversation with you guys. And it's a beautiful day, the sun's out, the sky's blue, and it's time to get back to work. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one. See ya.